Hey listeners, Jonny here. I wanted to pop in here because in this arc, we're getting into a more human kind of horror, which means things get real. I'll be getting into some of the implied traumas in our characters' pasts. There are specific content warnings in the show notes, and if those are things that are difficult for you to hear, you'll want to be careful with this arc. Take care of yourselves, we love you all, and we hope you enjoy the show. Welcome to the Monsters Playbook, a Real Play Monster of the Week podcast that is reaching its crescendo. This is the season finale, people. I'm not going to waste any more of your time or mine. The dress barn is under attack again, and it's finally time to put an end to the threat that's been haunting them for an entire year.
I'm Sarah, and I play Tiff Torres.
I'm John, and I play Mark Clayton.
I'm Lauren, and I play Kira and Anna Ashwood.
I'm Miah, and I play Casey Davis and Theo Nessos.
I'm Jonny, and I play literally everybody else, so here we go. So, previously on the cover story, we learned something quite interesting indeed about our very own Tiff Torres, that she had at some point in the past killed the Queen Concealed and taken over her role, and through some means created a new version of Tiff herself here on Earth. So that's that. Of more immediate concern for you guys, another version of Mark Clayton, another version of Kira Ashwood, and a third figure had appeared on the field. And the other version of Mark had instructed a giant ack to approach, attack, and crush the dress barn. So what do you want to do?
What is Tiff doing? What is Tiff reacting? How is Tiff?
She's doing great. She's having a really good day.
Yeah.
She's really just pretty normal, average day, actually. No, I think she is, after she calms down a little bit, I think she's gonna go to Leth and ask if Leth knows where... I don't know if I'm remembering this correctly.
Okay.
Did Knife take the information from the Lady of the Locks about how to create a key? Wasn't there a book or something that we took from her?
Yes, there was. So for the listener, the Lady of the Locks was my very favorite villain that I've ever thought of, who had used a set of magical keys to lock away the memories of all of the Under the Stairs kids who were all of Leth's supernatural friends in mine and Sarah's other game, Monsterville. Leth was their leader, Knife was her spy master, and they all had their memories and a lot of their magic sealed away, but eventually cracked the code. They found their keys and figured out how to develop that kind of tech themselves. Thank you for entering the sidebar zone.
And she's gonna walk up to Leth and say, I need you to get me Knife.
Who am I talking to right now?
It's just... I don't know.
Roll manipulate someone.
9.
Could Anna help?
Sure. How?
Well, I think she would, get up from where she is, next to, Riley's burnt body, and would just be like, is this Knife person going to be able to help with whatever the hell is going on with the director? She's kind of, asking Tiff.
I think so.
And then Anna will look at Leth. Then fucking get them.
Roll help out.
That is a 7.
Well, Leth doesn't care for you.
It's fine.
But she'll be like, I'll see what I can do. Don't die if that's still something you can do. And then she'll run to a closet, open it up. And inside the closet, instead of there being, closet things, there will be essentially a bland and extremely long hallway. Then she'll walk in and shut the door.
Question. Can I sense if Dockers is here? The director?
Roll read a bad situation.
8.
He's not here, but he's on his way.
Okay.
Would I be able to read about the situation to see which of the three figures that are charging at us which one is the most threat? Is the most dangerous? Words?
Yeah, sure. That's a question that you can ask with Read About Situation. I mean, provided you roll well. Why don't you subtract 2 points?
Okay. I rolled an 8.
You sure did. And you want to know which one?
I specifically want to know who's the greatest threat between the other Mark, the other Kira, the other female figure.
Greatest threat to whom? The group of you?
Yeah, essentially what I want to figure out is like who should Jesse and Casey target first.
The other Mark. Because Ack is growing to an enormous size.
Yeah, he's in charge of Ack at the moment.
Okay, then I would like Casey and Jesse to shoot that Mark.
Okay. Roll kick some ass.
Okay, Jesse rolled an 11.
Okay. And he does how much?
He does, if it's just a regular rifle, it's just 3 harm.
Okay.
Casey rolled a 9 and does 4 harm, although she's shooting with the red rifle.
Okay.
Do you want me to roll precise strike for inflicting more harm?
Sure, why don't we do it all at once?
Okay, I only rolled a 7, so only one additional harm.
So, one of this other Mark's static wings goes up to partly block Jesse's rifle. It goes up to do the same to yours, but your bullet just goes straight through that wing and hits him right in the shoulder. But then that makes him angry, and so he fires a sort of beam of lava hot heat at you.
Okay.
And you will take 3 harm.
Does that ignore armor?
No.
Okay, so I have 2 armor, so I just get 1 point of harm. Okay.
Let's see. Can I try cast out evil to try and mitigate some of this? Some of the people around outside?
Who are you trying to cast out?
Probably the other Mark.
I think on him and only him, this might work. So go ahead.
Goddamn. 7. My dice suck.
So I think now basically the entirety of this other Mark's body is beginning to sort of flicker in the same reddish static, but he's still here, and Ack is now towering above the dress barn and bringing its enormous fists slowly, giant-like, up into the air to bring them down as hard as it can on the roof of the mini mall.
Could I ask a question?
Yes.
If Theo drops this spell, like a glamour spell from preventing her sister from seeing what's going on, could I use magic again and use entropy magic and try to, I guess, stop making Ack being what they are?
You want to try that again? What do you stop making Ack be what they are?
Because, entropy magic, you had said that it makes things stop being what they are. So I'm just wondering if I could use it on Ack. If I could use entropy magic on Ack.
To, unravel him.
I'm willing to sacrifice this spell that Theo has going on to cast additional magic because she had helped Mark just now.
Okay, roll it. I think it would take some time to unstitch him, but depends how you roll.
Theo got an 8.
Pick a glitch.
I would like Anna to take a shot at Ack
Cut.
with Casey's sniper rifle.
Is there a way to tell where his hands are coming down? Is it going to come down on top of somebody, or just because I'm wondering if I need to teleport and get anybody out of there?
The roof is not unpopulated.
Yeah, I kind of want Anna to run up and be like kind of yell at people, step back, and I want her to take a shot. And what I would want her to try to do, if she rolls well enough, is kind of stagger him back so that he can't hit the barn.
Well, then get a 10 plus.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. That is an 11 for Anna.
Nice.
I want to push him back so he can't. If he tries to swipe, he's gonna miss, kind of type thing.
I think the glitch to Theo's magic is that it has a problematic side effect.
Bless you.
No, why are you
Fuck.
rolling?
I was doing it like flipping a coin. If it's like this, if this one's higher, then this is going to happen. And if this one's higher, then the other thing's going to happen. And they were both 6s.
So neither happens. Everything's fine.
So you hold out your hands to Ack, and one of his His left arm starts to like come unpeeled, banana-like, and so too does your left arm.
What?
To reveal underneath it a crackling, staticky left hand. As it goes to bring down its other fist on the dress barn, a powerful shot from Anna knocks it in the shoulder, off balance, and its enormous foot goes to slam behind it to sort of catch itself. Mm-hmm. Where is Kira?
Kira is currently hiding in shadow in the air. And I was just actually going to say, she wants to communicate telepathically with Tiff, because we have the channel open, right?
Yeah.
I think she's going to say to Tiff, what's knife steal? What can they do?
I think knife can help get me into the other body. I think I can merge with the queen.
I see. Okay. How did you kill her?
I don't know. I didn't think that I did.
I'm going to try something here in a second. And I think she kind of talks to everybody else, like, keep everybody else off the director. And I want Kira to try something.
Oh, yeah?
I want to see if she can, with seeing where the director is in the sky, I want her to try to use her life drain to kind of freeze him in place. Because I know she's done that before. Kind of hold his life essence to like freeze him where he is in the air, if that's possible.
Okay. I want you to make 2 rolls for me. I want you to roll your weird to do that. And then for reasons that I don't care to disclose, I want you to roll act under pressure.
Okay. So I know I have a +1 because of Mystic. And then am I doing a use magic roll right now?
Yes. First.
So then it's essentially +1 for both of these rolls. 13 advanced move for magic, 10 for act under pressure.
Okay. So you do that. You sort of reach out with your life essence and grip him where he is to like hold him in place.
Mm-hmm.
I want you to know it definitely feels unlike anyone else you've ever done this or anything like this to. It's like trying to squeeze wet sand. Very unpleasant. The second thing that happens is as soon as you reach out, the other Kira shoots towards you. But then when she gets almost on top of you, she like stops and looks around as though she doesn't quite know where you are.
Okay. I was going to say, because I thought I was still hidden.
That's what the roll was.
Okay. Clarifying question. This telepathic channel, is it with like everybody or just the hunters or like?
Everybody who would need to be on it. So like.
Okay. So anybody
Nick,
that we
Tommy,
would.
Les. Okay.
Then I think Kira would reach out to Donovan and be like, Donovan, take her down.
Oh boy. I'll manipulate someone.
That is a 7.
Okay. So as she's sort of floating there looking around, furious and inquisitive, trying to locate you, a flash of red and black shoots her higher into the sky, and you see Donovan essentially Supermaning her up and away.
Okay. Then I think with her out of reach, I want her to go over to where the director is, and like simultaneously, as I'm assuming she would like, because she's got the device, I want her to try to like stab the director with it to like try to fasten it to him or whatever. And I assume like doing that, she'd have to like break out of shadow. So as that's like happening.
Okay. And the moment you do that, the masked woman is going to grab your wrist and pin it behind your back.
Masked woman?
Yep. The third person that the director had summoned.
Wasn't she on the ground?
Are you not on the ground? You can fly. Fuck. Well then.
She was catapulted into the air.
Then instead, she's got to get you somehow. I think it sort of strikes you at first that it looks like one of those old-timey exercise bands, like a 2-cord, like bolo thing, flies up from below and wraps itself around your wrist, which is suddenly now incredibly heavy, and you're having difficulty staying in the air.
Okay, I'm gonna slip into the shadows again.
Roll plus weird.
Get out of these restraints. That's 14.
Jesus Christ.
And then I get a +1 on my next roll.
Okay.
You guys are duking it out. Johnny's like, take this, and Lauren's like,
It doesn't go well. Yes, it does. You know my dad. Tiff, Leth, and Knife come running out of one of the closets in the dress bar. Knife is looking, honestly, kind of Tremnory. He's got really long, greasy hair that's like one half 90s gold blonde and then one half kind of dirty normal blonde.
Oh my god.
Celtic rune neck tattoos.
Oh my god. I run up to them and I'm just like, Knife, I need you to make me a key. Do you still know how to do that?
Of course. What do you need to forget something?
Yeah, I need like all of me to go into the key.
He's gonna look at you. He's gonna look at Les. He's gonna be like, that's like rule 0.
It's an emergency.
Roll manipulate someone.
Come on, Knife. Oh, fuck yeah. That's a 14.
ooh-wee.
Okay. I need a place to work.
I want to turn towards Leth. Hey, so I'm gonna need you to do this because once I'm like in the key, I need someone to put the key in her mouth. And if she's me, you're probably the best one to do that.
This is really fucking with me, Tiff. Me.
I'm sorry.
This means I'm gonna have to be nice to her.
Yeah. I mean, yeah, this isn't the time for jokes. And hey, look, I really think it's gonna work. And I really think that if I'm in there too, like, I really think I can control it. But if it doesn't, I really love you. And I'm sorry.
All I can think of that she wants to say is, I love you too, you idiot.
Aw, shucks.
I mean, my girlfriend's a giant extra-dimensional shadow goddess. Are you kidding me? Hot.
I mean, now you can see why I was into you.
Flatterer.
Can Casey awkwardly break up this very touching moment?
I would love for Casey to awkwardly break up this very touching moment.
I'm really sorry. Officer Torres, what's going on? What are you doing?
It's fine. What do you need?
You know how to stop Mr. Green, John, the director? If whatever you're about to do kills you?
So, I don't know, but I think that I will know soon if this works.
Okay.
Probably gonna work. I mean, 65%. 60.
Those aren't great odds, I have to be honest with you.
Better than nothing.
Is there anything that can help you? Anything that can better those odds?
Look, I really don't know what's gonna happen. I don't think that this has been done before, but I mean, you know me, right? So if there's
Not really.
you know,
You were just my trainer at one point. And then you left me and my friends in my house to burn in there. And then we got drunk together.
Look, we don't need to get into it.
All right, well, promise me this.
Yeah,
You've got to come back.
I'm gonna do everything I can.
All right. I think Casey's going to say to Knife, is it?
He's got like those like extendable magnifying goggles.
Yeah.
And he looks up at you. It looks like a terrifying like lizard thing. Kind of in the middle of something.
Well, I was going to say there is a very geeky, nerdy scientist in the back room who looks vaguely kind of like me, except a guy who might be able to help you.
Are you talking about Aaron?
Yeah.
Yeah, give me him. And he goes right back to you. I think at this point what he's doing is using some kind of laser lighter to like flash melt some metal into an iron bowl.
I think Casey's just going to like radio talk.
Hey, Chuck. Need you and Aaron Davis up front. Need some help. Technical wise.
On it, boss.
And then Casey's going to turn back to the battlefield and figure out what the fuck is going on.
I was gonna say, Anna's probably, if she sees that armored lady is trying to go after Kira, Anna would shoot her
Where is
Okay.
Anna, by the way?
She's in the front.
She's with Diego
Yeah.
and I.
Yep.
What's Ack doing right now?
Shaking some pieces off of his unraveling and melting left arm, and then rearing back up to like punch the dress barn in the face.
Question on Mark's, like when Ack loses or like his arm unravels or whatever, can Mark feel that by chance? Do I feel a connection there?
It didn't at first, but it's honestly the more flickery the other Mark gets, who I'm calling in my notes Mork, the more you get like a tingling, like your hand fell asleep, pins and needles. But it's faint, like you're remembering it. What are you thinking?
I was just wondering, as far as Mark, is Mark within range of me right now? Because I'm wondering if I can lob a big ass fireball at him.
Oh, you can lob a big ass fireball at him.
Hell yeah.
Oh yeah. I was gonna say Anna's gonna shoot that woman. She rolled a 14 advanced move to kick some ass.
Pick your super advantage.
Your attack inflicts double the normal harm, so that'd be 8 harm, because she's using Casey's sniper rifle.
Double sixes.
Okay. So, Mark first.
I'm gonna fire the fireball with my tingly hand because I have a feeling.
So, you like form up the big old fireball and just Mega Man it at him.
Love it.
I think he brings up both of his own hands that then also begin glowing red, but the red flickers to static and his defenses fail, and it hits him in the face and chest, and he kind of goes skidding back, but then as he's like getting back up to counteract you, he just like shifts and he's gone, and he's back, and then he shifts and he's gone. You cast him out.
I did it.
That's good.
I think Mark is just talking to himself. He's like, holy shit, I just killed him.
Okay.
And then Ack appears in your head and is like,
Still hit.
Oh.
No, don't hit. No hit.
Anna,
Yeah.
this woman on the ground is looking up where Kira had been, and then sort of at the crack of your rifle, whips to look at you, and the bullet hits her square in the middle of the mask, which knocks her back, and she slides several meters away from the building, but then kind of catches herself and skids on one hand and both feet. Flickering electric field around her flashes a couple of times and then fades out, and the mask itself has an enormous spreading crack, and pieces of it begin to fall away.
Did that do any harm to her, or is that like her protection now effectively destroyed kind of thing?
Roll her in a bad situation.
10.
So yeah, you can ask a couple of questions.
Yeah, did that do any harm?
Yes, it did.
Okay. What does the mask do? Or does it do anything? I don't know.
I will answer the question that I think you want to know the answer to, which is that the flickering of the electricity appears to have been some kind of electric shield that was boosting her armor further than it otherwise would have
Than
been.
it normally would. Okay.
And it's busted.
Of the three now that Ack is no longer on the field, like who's the biggest threat?
As though to answer that question, Donovan plummets from the sky and crashes into the parking lot pavement.
Oh.
Can I do something to stop that?
Who?
Kira, maybe?
Roll act under pressure.
Okay. Act under pressure, that's a 8.
I'm extremely pleased by that roll.
I bet.
So you come out of shadows and you fly to intercept him, and you do actually manage to catch him and then kind of hover in the sky and try to bring him down a little bit more gently. Just before you land, one of those chitinous spider's legs shoots out of your right shoulder, and you can feel it piercing your wing.
How much does that do?
I think I had to do 3.
And how much of that is mitigated by my shit?
As much as your shit mitigates.
3.
Yeah, okay.
You're like,
Fine
I
with
don't
that.
have shoulders.
Okay, so the director is now able to move again, I take it?
Mhm.
Okay, great. Kira's just gonna like look over her shoulder and be like, nice to meet you, Jonathan.
Please, Jonathan is my son's name. Call me Mr. Grawl.
Can I have Ack try to restrain John?
Yeah, why don't you roll plus weird for me?
11.
All right. So I think Ack is going to reach at him with his good arm, but several more of those spider legs are going to catch his palm at certain spots and like hold him there. So the good news is some of his arms are occupied, but the bad news is he isn't completely restrained.
Can I have Ack crush those arms that are holding?
I would like you to roll kick some ass.
12.
Do more harm, take less harm. Force him where you want him.
I'll just crush the arms so they're inoperable. Or like, yeah, I'll just do more damage.
Okay. So Ack has this thing and then just makes a fist. And then those three things get like snapped off at the edge. And this like, yeah, I think it's a sickly, like dark, blackish, green, ivory blood comes spurting out of the edges. Grawl spins around and glares at Ack. And the spider leg comes out of you, Kira.
Okay. So he's looking away from me at the moment?
Mm-hmm.
Great.
I was wondering if Theo could open up her third eye and read a bad situation on the director.
Okay. Meanwhile, Tiff, inside you can see Knife explaining what he's doing to a thoroughly impressed and mystified Aaron Davis, who, if you haven't been following the show, looks a lot like a gawky Thomas Middleditch. He's like pouring this metal into like some sort of mold. They're actually doing it twice. Aaron has one of his own and Knife has another one, as though it's like kind of like Maggie Simpson's steering wheel on this opening of The Simpsons. Just kind of teaching him how to do it. It's like, oh, cool. That's what's going on inside. Theo.
I rolled a 5.
You sure did. You open up your third eye and all of your vision goes dark. And then it is as though you are floating in black water. Then someone has dumped green ink into it. The shadow of like a figure with a wide-brimmed hat and a long flowing, maybe coat. Kind of like the silhouette of Humphrey Bogart at the end of Casablanca.
Well, you don't make a lot of sense. Whose side are you on here?
I'm on the side of good.
Something grabs your right hand and holds it up to your face.
That's so.
And then throws it down on the ground, and something grabs your left hand and holds it up in front of your face. Your notably missing ring finger.
Seems like you got a couple of different sides you're on. None of them's very good.
Theo's gonna drop the glamour that was on her eye. You gotta grab what power you can take. And then I think Theo's gonna try and blast whatever this thing is. I also, even though I missed, I still get one question.
Oh, good.
It like literally says, like, on a miss, you may still get one hold, but you're exposed to supernatural danger.
He might be fucked, but at least you get to know one cool thing.
Yeah. I think I want to ask, what's my best way into the director?
What do you mean by in?
Like, to appease or reason with them?
Well, I mean, it will take a show of force, offensive or otherwise. But, I mean, if you could convince him you're on the same side.
Okay.
I.e. the side of order, control, and humanity. Because I think that's the invisible thing that you see, is the, like, connection between Mr. Green and E. Garrett Goldman. And then also this sort of, like, parasitic splice to John Grawl. That, like, most of the energy and power is flowing to John, which Mr. Green abides because it's on the same side.
Is Theo gonna, like, be here for, like, good minute?
I mean, until you
Whoever
get out.
hears. Okay.
I want first Anna to take a shot at the other Kira.
Okay.
And I think she's like squaring up, looking through this thing, and she's like, I can't even. She's just like, cool, I'm gonna shoot my other sister.
roll kick some ass.
Shit, Anna. 12 advanced move.
Shit, girl.
Can you send some of those good vibes over here, please?
That's how dice works. Pick your perk.
Tell me what you think would make the most sense for this roll, because what I want to do is I want Anna to shoot her in such a way that it's gonna like go through both of the wings, so that like it would effectively make her unable to fly. Would that be like double harm or forcing where they want to, or I don't know. It's kind of because with an advanced move, it's a little bit different.
Mm-hmm. I think I can allow that. I think that makes sense.
Inflict double the harm.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Can you give me a badass one-liner to spout as you make this shot?
What are you doing on the spot like that? You're grounded, bitch.
And how much harm does that rifle do?
If it was double the harm, that would be 8.
Okay. So yeah, your shot cracks in through the air and the bullet goes up, and yeah, sure enough, you hit like through parts of both wings and then a key spot in the center back, and she comes soaring Donovan-like out of the sky, slam into a poof of dust, dirt, and loose pavement in the parking lot.
Okay.
The masked person is recovering and sprinting back towards all of you, probably towards where you are, Casey.
I had nothing to her. The fuck is she doing?
I think Tommy and or Yuna is gonna try to slash at this woman then.
Okay, which one?
I kind of like the idea of Tommy just like bounding and like tackling her.
Okay.
I'm sure you could use some release of other Casey. Another
So yeah, also as she is running, the mask is further crumbling away, and yeah, it's like a...
It's Casey.
Yep, obviously, Casey. It's a like really battle-hardened haircut, extremely short, sort of spiky blonde hair, and then as the faceplate falls away, it looks like battle-hardened, leathery-skinned Casey Davis.
Yeah, so Tommy's gonna try to tackle and take a swipe out of this.
Okay, roll kick some ass.
12 advanced move.
Gotcha. Double harm, take no harm at all.
Double harm.
Okay. What does Tommy's claw do?
We've never said how much damage it does.
Oh, okay. Let me look up.
Claws do 2 harm.
Okay. So yeah, he slashes at her real bad, but then she like whips a hand and suddenly a dagger appears in it, and she gets him right where his thigh meets his hip.
Oof. Ouch. Then I think Yuna is going to be standing right there and pew! It's hammer time.
Roll kick some ass.
She rolled a 12.
So do more harm, take less harm, give or take a bonus, or force her where you want her.
Inflict terrible harm.
Okay.
Keep piling on the harm. So I don't know what Yuna's bat does, but...
Well, here's what it's going to do. She's going to swing it, and this other Casey's going to hold up an arm to take the hit. The bat is going to shatter that forearm. And you hear this Casey go in a very familiar sounding voice, "Fuck!" And then she's going to pull the knife out of Tommy's leg, flip it around, and slash at Yuna's arm. And it'll just cut really cleanly, wrist to elbow.
Can I shoot myself?
I would love for you to shoot yourself.
Okay. That is a 12 advance move.
God,
Jeez,
damn
we are
it.
rolling it like kings tonight. Or queens.
Well, I do 4 harm without the precise strike with the red rifle.
Okay, so I really want her to like take it. Like the red rifle leaves a pretty sizable wound pattern. So she takes it kind of in the lower chest, upper stomach, and then between her like limp, useless left hand and the like, I think her right hand she's losing the strength to grip the knife anymore, and she's like trying to stay in something of a battle stance, but is like slipping and falling to one knee. 2 things then happen. The director on these like 3, at this point probably 10-foot long spider legs is crawling your way, and in the distance you can hear a helicopter.
Is crawling towards who?
Towards,
Like the dress barn.
I know where he's going. He's climbing up the building to the roof.
If that's the case, I think that Casey's gonna run after them. Because the only person on the roof is Jesse and Nick. And I don't care for that.
Mark can see him climbing up the wall, right?
Absolutely.
I would shoot another fireball at him.
Roll use magic.
10.
And you're shooting this from where? Are you on the ground floor?
Yep, I'm on the ground floor. I was
Okay.
up.
He's kind of like slamming his spider legs into the side of the building. Bits of brick and dust are flying off in every which way. You hurl this fireball up at him. I think it hits some sort of fuzzy liquid lightning resistance, but then shoves its way through.
Yes.
And slams into his lower back. And just like liquid lava hits him and then drips off and actually also gets trapped in that same sort of force shield around him.
Can Theo roll use magic?
To do what?
I was wondering, whoever this thing is that is in front of me, I would like to wipe their memory. I have the memory spell, a rote, and has tried to use it a couple of times since.
He keeps getting denied.
I think you can try it.
Okay.
In other words, roll good.
So I rolled an 8.
Read to me again what the mixed success for this spell is.
So what I've written down is only pull out all of the memories over a period of time. Will realize they don't remember.
So like they'll know that they have a blank spot in their memory. What exactly are you trying to do here?
I want to erase the memory of Evelyn, like, becoming Mr. Green.
Okay. Well, here's the bad news. You can't do that because you are talking to Mr. Green.
Okay, cool. Great.
He's not
Awesome.
a person. He's a place.
Okay.
But you can kind of see it. I want you to roll act under pressure to be able to make sense of this and to remain conscious after having it accidentally and forcibly shoved into your brain.
Oh, yeah, it is. That's a 12. Advanced move.
Oh, okay.
Boom!
So here's what I want to do with that. You like do your thing where you kind of like make your hand movements.
I have to spill blood.
Ooh, then you do that.
And then I'm guessing that Theo probably takes the harm instead of Mr. Green.
And then it starts to sort of pull out a very physical, to me it almost looks like a film strip being yanked from this human form. But then it raises a hand just in silhouette and it stops. But then your eye lights up and begins to yank it further. And it goes straight into your eye and forehead. And you are overwhelmed by the vision, and we will return to you in a moment. All the lights inside the dress barn begin to flicker. And suddenly the only and the main light source within is the cash register stand that Knife and Aaron are working on, which is like glowing and flashing, which would give this episode an epilepsy warning. Then when the lights come back up, you see Knife holding this like, it was just like a thick box of metal covered with all these runes and carvings with a line in the middle. And he like cracks it and pulls it in half. And then steaming inside is an ornate and runed key, which I think he presents instead to Leth. You know what this can do, right? And she grabs it and her skin actually is sizzling just a little bit. And he says, "We better pray I don't." And then she walks over to you, Tiff.
I'm ready.
Yes, you are. This one, though, goes into your... Yeah, it goes into your chest. Like over your heart. And again, all the lights go off, but not because their electricity is being shut off. It's more like they're all being physically covered by a shadowy hand. Doesn't wish to be seen. And then you hear like a distant echoey screech. And then all the lights come back on. And Leth is standing there alone with a key in her hand. Theo, you are sort of walking around. It all seems sort of black and white. And it's a well-decorated and well-destroyed office building. All of the desks have been broken or flipped over. There's several bodies kind of all over the place. The only movement or sign of life is coming from the torn-off wall of one of the larger offices, but not notably the largest office. And you can see a person hunched a little bit and holding in his left shoulder, facing down against the only thing in this place with any color, which is this flowing green-black silhouette. And you can hear sort of in reverse echo the voice you heard before in the black water.
Why can't you see it? My order is perfect. Perfect control.
In a weak and angry voice, the man says, your plans don't have any place for people like me.
Sure they do. They're my champion.
And the guy says, well, maybe I'll make a bigger place. And the entire building blows up. Also, Tiff, Leth is just going to stand there with the key and kind of shout into the ether, hey, we have something to discuss. And then some of the shadows, including her, will sort of extend and spread, from which a lanky feminine silhouette with large spiky antlers will ascend, and big bulbous white eyes will open. She'll be like, a deal? No, a plan. And I think she's just going to go, knife, now. And he's going to like shake out his arms. Different nodes on his palm and all of his fingers are like super bright LEDs. And he grabs her arms, the queen, and it kind of like sears her shadow form. And Leth reaches up and grabs the back of her head and shoves the key into her mouth. And Tiff, you open up your eyes and you're still standing in the dress barn, but you feel different. You know a lot of things.
I open my eyes and I'm going to do something really fucking cool. I look at Leth knowingly and I say, thanks, babe. And I kiss her.
My visual for this is like, you know how in whichever Spider-Man had Venom in it, they wanted to really get the most out of having Topher Grace in their movie. And so they had the face pull back as much as they possibly could. I think it's like that. Like the shadows sort of fade away from a Tiff face. So instead of being perfectly black with giant white eyes, it's your face as though you're wearing a pulled tight hood with antlers coming out of it. And then you kiss her. Roll manipulate someone to see how sexy it is.
Roll for sex appeal.
Please, for the love of God, I will burn my last luck point.
I will burn my last luck point.
Yeah.
I can't decide. I can't burn my last luck point. I mean, it's an 8. It's an 8. So it's like, okay.
I mean, there's no music or anything.
Yeah.
But it's still pretty hot.
I'll take it. For realsies, though, how do I feel? Do I feel like I've got this? Like, I remember everything and I feel chapped in?
Yeah, I think that it's like...
Integration.
Yeah, totally. Like, it's the feeling of being in multiple places at once, but where if you were just the queen, what's happening in this place would barely matter. You are you. You are the queen of shadow and darkness. who killed the Queen of Shadow and Darkness. Long live the Queen.
R.I.P. I'm gonna go kill the director.
Which I was gonna just say, Kira was like behind him and was gonna try to stab him with that device if he was gonna be like trying to go up to the building to get John Grawl out.
Yep. So you're gonna try to do that. I do want one thing. The end of Theo's vision.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you see the smoke clearing in the rubble of this wrecked building. Standing on top of the rubble is the man who you recognize now as the director, looking quite young and dashing indeed. And the silhouette seems more physical now and is crushed under this rubble. And you hear him say,
I didn't see that coming.
and the man says, none of your kind ever will. And he holds some kind of device over him and sucks the green out of him.
Oh, no.
And into himself.
Oh, great.
So, okay, Kira, roll. I'm gonna have this be act under pressure.
Okay. That's a 13 advanced.
Okay. So I have been watching a lot of Castlevania, so that's kind of the animation style I'm thinking in my head. That you are dive bombing at him, like leaped into the air and then just shot his way, like leaving a ring of compressed air behind you.
Yeah.
And then like ducking and weaving and dodging these spiked spider legs that are coming your way. But you spin and drop and rise and miss all of them and probably run along one of them until, yeah, you take this thing and you slam it into his back and engage it, which makes the other four sides spike into him. And I think, yeah, you can see he's still suspended from the side of this building. He's gripping his head with his human hands, and this like blue smoky energy is being pulled out of him and into the thing on his back, like it's continually flowing.
I want to, if possible, while this is happening, I want Kira to try to do a little bit following Riley's model to kind of use some name magic to make sure that it's John being pulled into this helmet and not anybody else.
Roll use magic.
That's a 10.
Okay.
And +1 on my next roll.
Yeah, I think you do that and you can sort of see in your mind's eye his sort of torso that ends in this being sucked out smoke as though being pulled into a vacuum.
Yeah.
Gripping onto this like cellular visceral connection thing. And I think in the sound, this like horrible grinding, pulling sound, you can hear him shouting over it, my vision goes back, child, farther than yours. Do you know what I see? Fire, conflict, combat, forever and ever. And mewling humans huddling at the flames of war like moths to a lamp. Pathetic and unbecoming.
Interesting. It's exactly the word I would have used to describe you.
And then his hands, which, as you notice now, his arms don't actually end in proper hands. They're just like big bulbous things that are attached to this connection. And they just crack and break. And he's gone.
John is gone? Okay, can I ask a question with my...
Old black magic? Yes, you can.
How do we sever the connection between Mr. Green and the director? Since like essentially they kind of are like, it's the same kind of deal going on with like what Tiff has. It's like two separate things.
Well, Tiff knows of a blue gun that could do it temporarily.
Ooh.
Or Tiff herself probably has the strength to break that thing.
Okay.
Nice.
What is he doing right now? Like now that he's like technically Evelyn is probably back in control.
I think when the blue sort of evaporates from him, he's still suspended by the legs from the building. He'll just straighten up as though he was never in pain, and he'll look around, and he'll sort of quickly take everything in and go, okay. and then casually flip you away from him, Kira, with one of his arms.
Oh, like I get thrown onto the ground or something?
Just away from him. I don't think...
Oh, okay.
I think you're sort of taken enough by surprise that he pushes you away, but not so much by surprise that you smash into the ground.
Okay.
And then he seems to continue his ascent and potentially by extension his assault.
So he keeps going up?
Yep.
Okay, I think that Casey, yells out to him, Director! I guess Casey's gonna... If he keeps going up, I think Casey's gonna try and follow then.
How?
Kira would grab her if she wants. Fly her up.
Yeah.
She's gonna go down and grab Casey.
Yeah.
Cat. I love that.
With you till the end, friend.
I think he'll sort of get up to the roof and then sit down with his human feet on the ground and look at you and be like, an agent in opposition?
Not in opposition, sir. Just looking for answers. Investigating a mystery.
And you, he looks at Kira, this is far too early. What has that fool been doing?
What are you talking about?
I think he's talking about Agent M.
A helicopter is now quite close indeed, and it's beginning to land. It is one of those, two-prop helicopters.
Yeah. If Kira would let Casey would like to put herself between, the director and Kira.
I don't think that's something you need to ask for.
You can do that. Kira might just be like...
I know, but, I have to protect you. Sir, I know it's unreasonable to question your methods, your reasons for your actions, but I'm looking for answers. Why? What are you doing?
Currently, I think I'm cleaning up the mess of an old fool. Not how I would have done it, but if the timetable is accelerated, then the timetable is accelerated.
For what?
Move aside. It's time to wake her up.
No.
Agent.
This is not what EARS stands for.
It's what the drum stands for. The drum gives EARS its purpose. I'm trying to place humanity on a stage where we will matter.
Who told you that it didn't?
They don't tell us because they don't care. Agent, you've been fighting monsters on Earth. From Earth.
That's not entirely true.
Earth's, then.
We've also fought monsters from there.
Oh, you haven't fought monsters from there. Not really. There's a war between demigods. 20 years ago, I enacted a plan to give humanity one of our own. Now step aside and let me wake her up.
I can't let you do that. When I signed on to EARS, I promised. When I figured out what I fight for, I made a promise to protect humans as well as non-humans. And this girl, I think Casey kind of glances over her shoulder at Kira, is one of my best friends, and you cannot manipulate her. And Casey's gonna dive at him.
Okay.
I was gonna say, I think Kira would maybe actually reach out to Mark through their telepathic connection and be like, Mark, turn that copter around.
Mark looks up and sees the helicopter and tries it.
Yeah, you can, I think what she's trying to communicate is, use your mental dominion.
Yep. Mental dominion over it.
Ooh.
We have control of the situation.
Roll it, Mark.
10. That's a thing.
You get 3 orders to give to this person flying this helicopter.
Anything specifically you want it to do, Kira?
Well...
So this isn't a questions thing, and help me understand too, because what I'm understanding is that you're kind of reaching out with your mind into this person and trying to exert your will that way. So you are going to get 3 things that you can tell them to do, and you get to just transmit them one way.
Okay, I see.
My biggest thought was like, I just don't want reinforcements to come in. Like, prevent anybody else from coming to his aid.
Call off the troops.
Okay, that's 1. You want the helicopter to like turn around and go back?
Mark the mission is complete.
And 3?
Don't send help.
This is a non-SOS.
Tell them it's complete. Do not come back.
All right, you hear the person flying this helicopter go,
Oh, no problem, man.
Oh,
No!
and it like kind of lifts up and spins around.
come back, come back, come back.
Can I teleport up to the helicopter and do whatever means necessary to get Dockers back? In other words, paint the scene and I will deal with it.
Okay.
Or try to.
So the scene inside this helicopter is such that there's kind of a giant, vaguely scorpion-shaped robot in here, that where kind of the head would be is this dome, and inside the dome is this swirling greenish, I'll say groovy energy. And it's like the robot itself is fully interfaced into the sides and front of this giant helicopter.
And I'm able to just pop into the helicopter, like in
Yep.
the center of it.
And the like dome's top part of this robot turns to you and is like,
Oh, I think I'm supposed to fight you, bro.
No.
I telepathically reach out. Can you get in my head?
Yeah, but I kind of think I already did, because it's like mission accomplished or whatever.
Okay. Can I assume this thing tries to take a lunge at me?
he's kind of looking at you and yeah, he's like,
Oh, hey, man. Aren't you like, didn't I already beat you?
Yeah, you did. Good job.
Awesome.
Hey, do you want to go for a ride? Remember when we used to like boil in the green?
I don't know, man. That doesn't sound like me.
What about
I'm kind of like a.
and don't get me wrong, like you're looking good, but man, don't you just want to chill?
Yeah, I don't think I'm supposed to do that.
Says who?
Oh, you know, man, like the director.
Well, he's got plenty of more years to tell you that. Just take a break for a little bit. You know you want to.
roll manipulate someone.
This is dumb. I love it.
Mark Clayton tried to hang out with a giant scorpion robot / helicopter.
10.
Ah, I could kick out a little early.
Hey, there we go. So, you got any of the good stuff?
Oh, God.
What do you mean, like a gun?
Oh, we got plenty of those. No, I'm talking about the good stuff. You know, the green stuff. You got some of that, don't you?
Wait. You mean like drugs?
Shh, don't say it too loud.
Oh, man.
His like robotic mechanical scorpion claws are like,
Something is going on up here.
Hey, man. Are you like a cop?
Hey.
he like takes one of his giant metal scorpion pincers and pokes you kind of in the shoulder like,
Hey, dude. Hit me right here.
Ting ting.
Nah, come on, man.
And Mark just is like,
You have a sword, sweetheart.
no, he said hit me right here. I was like, tink out.
No, come on, man. Bust me out.
All right. Ready for this? He's gonna roll kick some ass on his shoulder.
do it.
10.
A lot of sense.
Jesus.
All right.
Jesus.
Yeah, you wind up and you punch him super hard in the glass and it breaks. This like green gas like flows out and the scorpion like drops. And then this green gas like flows out and forms up into the shape of your long-haired hippie ghost pal Dockers.
Can I, like, breathe really hard to get him back into me? Come on in, man.
Oh my gosh.
And then I think that's exactly what Mark does. He does that, and then he just exhales.
And yeah,
It's
like
good to be back.
a bunch of actual weed smoke comes out of your mouth when you exhale.
And then I think I just fall back into there, and then back into where I am.
Okay.
Guys, I got Dockers.
Oh, thank God.
So, two things, just like full disclosure. I am required by law to answer that I do think for a time I was a cop. Also, I was pretty much flying that helicopter, so...
It's just gonna start crashing.
Everyone looks up and to the left. You gotta admit that explosion was pretty cool, though.
It was pretty cool, and they are not gonna send help.
Hi, listeners. How are we feeling going into this intermission? I'll make this quick. The next and last story episode of the Cover Stories second season will be out in 2 weeks on February 4th, just in time for Valentine's Day. Ironic. If you'd like to support the show, you can help us by leaving us a rating and review on Apple Podcast, Spotify, or whatever is your preferred listening platform. And tell your friends. The best way for podcasts to get new listeners is by word of mouth. Don't forget to follow us on social media. You can follow us on Twitter at Monster Playbook or Facebook, Instagram, and Tumblr at Monsters Playbook. We also have a Discord, and we would love for you to join and chat with us, ask us questions, discuss theories, and also join us for our listening parties. We also have a merch store, so if you're looking for a new sticker, a cozy blanket to curl up on the couch, or a desk mat, check out our merch store. All these links to things and more can be found in our Direct Me profile. Our promo for this week is for Power Word Fail, a fantasy actual play D&D 5e podcast. This podcast is powered by lush character dynamics, arcane mystery, and the hilarity of the players, aka failures, at the table. Let's take a listen and learn more about their story.
Hail, adventurers! Are you seeking a high fantasy story powered by lush character dynamics? What about an immersive saga cloaked in arcane mystery? Perhaps the hilarity of the player's table is your siren song. Then join us for powerful words and powerful failures on Power Word Fail, an actual play Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition podcast.
Our first campaign, Chosen of the Crystal Crown, is helmed by DM Carlos Torres and stars a diverse and talented cast known as the Failures, a group of not-quite heroes thrust onto the scales of power.
Are they the long-sought inheritors of the mantle of the Crystal Court? Or are they just a bunch of dingleberries who got in way over their heads? Will they bring balance? Or press their hands and spread chaos over Telflower?
Take arms and take heed. All actions have consequences in the world of Power Word Fail. Check us out Mondays wherever you get your podcasts.
You can find out more about Power Word Fail and where to follow them on social media in this episode's show notes as well. But for now, let's get back to that battle.
I think Mark is just kind of like stoned in the corner again.
But we got Dockers back.
Yay! Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I think you'd all just feel like a collective sigh from from everybody, but Anna especially is just like, oh.
Thank God.
Yeah.
So Casey was diving at the director.
Mm-hmm.
If you would let me, I think maybe Jesse would also shoot from behind.
Mm-hmm.
And I also, as Casey's diving towards the director, I think, reaching out to Torres telepathically. Tiff, we need you upstairs now. It's time to get Mr. Green out.
Can I teleport there using shadows?
Oh, 100%.
Then I want to appear beside Casey and say, what do you need?
Well, Casey's diving into the director, stabbing him with a dagger, so
sorry.
I can't really say much.
Sorry, I'll stand back while you do that.
I see you're in the middle of something.
What do you? Oh, you're busy. Oh, I'm sorry.
That could have been cooler. Roll act under pressure, Casey.
So, I know this would be beautiful, but I am burning a luck point because I rolled double ones.
Oof. Ouch.
Do you want me to roll weird for the dagger?
I do want you to roll weird for the dagger.
Okay.
And subtract 3. Hey,
go ahead, do it. Just go ahead.
I know we have kind of a lot of stuff going on. There's a lot of people and players.
Yeah.
But in the midst of all that, it's like you were going to do something, and I think we kind of lost track. But just in terms of it matters for what happens next. What did you roll?
Yeah. So I rolled a 2.
Did you roll double ones again, or what? No. Okay.
I rolled a 3 and a 1, and my weird is +1.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's not a good look.
So in a way, yes.
And I'm not gonna roll. I'm not gonna use a luck point in this because it doesn't make sense because it's not my weapon technically. But I do have a question. Should I still mark it off as? So with the dagger, so it had 3 uses, and this might help you decide what happens. But this was the 3rd use.
3 charges.
Yeah.
And tell me what you were hoping would happen.
I don't fucking know. I was hoping to stab the director at the beginning, for starters. And then based on, how it's react. Because I know the first time I used the dagger, I think I stabbed a werewolf and it sucked in some of its blood or something like that. And then the second time I used it, I stabbed something else and it sucked in its powers and, drained it a little bit. So I guess I was partially hoping to somehow drain the director or Mr. Green.
So yeah, I think you dive towards him. I think you do a roll and you come up to stab him, and he holds up a hand and blocks the dagger from going in, as though either he has incredibly hard skin or he has some kind of force field on his hand, and he'll be look at the dagger and look at you and be I thought we dealt with them. And then just a burst of this green energy will knock you back.
Does Jesse get to take a shot off from behind?
Sure, he can. Roll kick some ass.
7.
Okay.
And that means that the dagger's all used up, right?
It means something worse. The dagger is starting to bleed.
Uh-oh. Oh, I don't like that. Tiff did appear, by the way.
Yeah, I think Kira would look to Tiff and would be you can sever whatever the connection is between them. You've got the power.
All right.
I think I want Kira to try to assist with whatever Tiff is gonna do by maybe because this the director still has his fucking spider arms, right?
Yeah.
How many arms?
He has 6 out, but 3 of them are blunt and bleeding and useless.
Okay, then I want Kira to try to use magic to create a bunch of shadow tendrils coming out of her to restrain the arms that are out.
Okay, roll it.
So that would technically be that's a 7.
Okay.
With +1, yeah. I rolled a 2 and a 1, but I have +4 basically.
Pick a glitch.
Take 1 harm, ignore armor.
Okay.
I think it's quite physically taxing for her to do this.
Yeah, absolutely. I think when you start to extend them out, it is almost physically pulling out parts of you with them. Mm-hmm. You're overextending a limb.
Yeah.
So Tiff, when you look at him, You know, in like PowerPoint, or I assume kind of in Photoshop, when you go like to arrange layers and it shows you everything that's on top of everything else, you can, there's a number of things occupying the same space. There's the sort of human physical form of the director himself, which is sort of like a hand reaching up from an ocean. And like, he's just the physical part of something much bigger and deeper underneath and behind, which is this thing that appears as the sort of silhouetted detective type thing that you know and recognize as sort of a younger brother, Mr. Green.
Okay.
Yeah, 100%. He's definitely younger than you, much younger. There were shadows long before there was order. But then there's other things that have sort of been grafted, physically and otherwise, onto the body and soul of the director over the years. Those spider arms and legs are a thing, like a single sliver of the layers of him that someone's attached. There's more of him. Yeah, there's a great deal of smoke. There's something that kind of looks like a wolf made entirely of just heads. Just a ball of wolf heads.
Ooh. Okay. Do I get the sense that in order to get to Mr. Green, we need to kind of shave off these layers in between the director and him?
So, yes and no, because one, in the sort of physical world, each of these layers that offer some kind of a threat will be a defense.
Okay.
If you go to the realm that is Mr. Green, you'd be fighting him there.
Okay.
Guardian to guardian. There is, I think, defended by all of those things and by Mr. Green himself is the tendril, which is the word I was looking for about half an hour ago. That is what connects the E. Garrett Goldman shaped thing here to Mr. Green himself. There. So functionally, the sort of weak point in this whole constellation of Mr. Green and the director is that connection. You see it as almost a physical thing. Like, you can almost see a heartbeat going back and forth between it.
Okay. And that's it. It's like a tentacle thing?
Tendril.
Yes.
A tendril.
You're the only one who sees it. You're the only one who could touch it. You're the only one who could hurt it.
I see. Then I would absolutely love to try to sever it.
Okay. I think the moment you move on it, the thing that you see that is the place Mr. Green will also just appear in front of you, in between it and you.
Okay.
Is this in like a different space from where we can
Yes.
see right now? Okay.
I want to shout out to you guys to like keep going for the arms, like keep going for what you can see. And then I want to step forward and like challenge this dude to a duel, so to speak.
I feel like Casey's gonna like catch eyes with Kira, and I really want Casey to be like, you go high, I go low.
Yeah, no, I think Kira just like reaches back and like pulls out her fucking axe.
Sick. What's Mark doing?
Getting high.
I think I'm high right now, and also I think Ack was still in control of or did Ack go limp when I went limp?
I'm gonna leave that.
He like stopped in his tracks and he's like, oh.
You go high, I'll go low. I'll go limp. Why don't you roll him something and tell me what you want him to try to do?
I think what he was trying to do previously is just kind of restrain.
Yeah, roll kick some ass.
Kick some ass? Okay. 11.
Nice. Pick your benefit. Do more harm, take less harm, force it where you want it.
I think force it where I want it.
Okay. And you want him essentially restrained.
Yep, I want him restrained.
So I think this kind of the same thing happens, but now the director is fully both feet on the ground, hands up at Axe, enormous hand pressing down all 3 of his remaining good spider legs, pushing back up against him. Tiff, you are facing off against Mr. Green himself, who, though he's only a silhouette, you can tell is crossing his arms haughtily or apprehensively.
Is this the same Mr. Green whose name we came across way back when?
No.
Well, look who's come out from under the stairs.
Yeah, it's funny. I think I've seen your name around.
I suppose I know you by reputation.
Yeah, same. She used to think you were a threat, but now that I see you, I don't think so.
That's funny. He used to think you were a threat as well.
Interesting. Well, I guess we should probably find out for ourselves.
We'll kick some ass.
Please do good after that, Tiff. Please do good.
Love you, Terror Tiff.
Okay, it's a 9.
Okay. Take and give. Yeah, now we're in like celestial combat kind of, so.
Can I ask a question?
Mm-hmm.
Is Theo able to help Tiff at all?
Roll help out. There's a couple of things that can happen right now.
Fuck. It's a 6.
It sure is. Okay. Tiff and Mr. Green lunge at each other. He seems to be attacking with like huge balled up fists. Like when he sort of spreads out and becomes a bit less of a silhouette, he does look like 1940s brawler detective. And he gets in a couple of good hits, but so do you. And you're a little bit more precise and attack with a good deal more finesse. You'll take 2 harm, and so will he. And also, one of your slashes on him will kind of cut open a hole in the world, out of which will fall Theo.
Ooh.
A little dazed, a little disoriented, not within your realm of concern right now, Tiff. I don't know that you even noticed this.
Okay.
I have a question.
Mm-hmm.
So Kira can destabilize dimensions, right?
Insofar as they poke into here.
I'm wondering if she could try to access whatever dimension this fight is going on between Tiff and Mr. Green to kind of bring them to here so that we can see what's going on. Make the dimensions bleed, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I see what you're saying. Why don't you roll plus weird, not use magic.
Okay, what did I roll last? What was the last thing I rolled? Was it use magic? The last thing I did was the tendrils, so yes, it was use magic, so I get a plus 1.
Okay.
I'm gonna burn a luck point.
Oh boy.
Oh boy.
Because that was double 1s.
How many do you have left?
Kira actually has a bunch, because she's done a level ups a couple times to regain luck points. She's only used 2 luck so far with having removed everything, so this would be number 3.
And as the initiate, my luck special is that something goes terribly wrong for the sect, an ill-advised project or a disastrous operation.
I mean, you could argue something horrible has already happened.
This is fair.
Yup. Okay, so yeah, basically almost in kind of a dome or skybox around the roof of this section of Mini Mall, the sky peels back and you can see one full half of it on the director's side is this inky black and green that sort of flows down and into this form with a wide-brimmed hat. And then another whole half of it is a smoky purple and black that's flowing into this antlered form of Tiff. And they are, I think, sort of 10 to 15 feet above the rest of you, locked in this combat.
Okay.
But now you can all see it.
Okay.
They both feel fully corporeal in this moment.
Okay, sweet.
And yeah, even the sort of inky blackness and smoky green of the guy, he just looks like I mean, honestly, kind of like Detective Hulk. Like, he looks like a big, muscly, green brawler guy with button-down shirt, suspenders.
I think I want Anna to head up to the roof to just be able to join the fight.
Can I land some punches on the director?
We'll see.
11.
Pick your benefit. Do more harm, take less harm. Take or give advantage. Force them where you want them.
I want to give Torres +1 forward.
Thank you.
Okay. I like that a lot. Did you guys ever watch Star Trek The Next Generation? Well, there was an episode where Data was playing some kind of 3D, 4D chess with somebody, and the super chess master was like, I can beat any machine, I can beat any computer. And like, he goes up against him, and then he loses, and then he loses, and then he loses. And then he figures out that the only way to beat him is because he's really predicting that the machine will just keep trying to win, and he can counteract all these things if you're trying to win. But then Data decides, well, I'm not going to try to win. I'm going to try to tie. And he doesn't know what to do, and he can't beat him. That's how you're fighting the director. Your objective is not to land punches and do the most possible damage. Your objective is to draw as much of his attention as you can. You get in some hits, you take some hits, and you make him think that they are worse for you than they actually are. They're still a little bit bad, though.
I imagine like the TV version that there's a little bit of a back and forth.
Quite a bit of a back and forth.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking about verbally, by the way.
Tell me what you say. First thing he's going to say is he's going to get in a couple of hits and he's going to say, you're supposed to be one of my agents? What has he been doing? Face, shoulder, stomach, block.
He's been putting agent against agent. Uppercut. You're ruining this organization. Everything it stands for, what it means, what it's supposed to do.
The organization doesn't matter. Only the mission.
There's no mission without its people. And you're planning on killing off more than half. You already have.
There's no people without the mission.
Why are you doing this?
Because war is coming. And it doesn't care about humanity.
And what do you care about?
Humanity!
I want Kira to reach out to him. And what does that even mean to you? What is humanity?
He looks up as though he can't tell where you're coming from. I want Earth to be something more than a battle theater. I want our species to have a future and not fall under the boot of a god.
Director, look around. That's what you've created. You've become a god and putting us under your boot.
Tiff, he's open.
Win for another punch.
Don't forget your +1.
Roll kick some ass and add 1.
Ouch. It's an 8.
Same thing's gonna happen. You're gonna take 2 and you're gonna do 2.
I gotta be careful out here.
I still see Tiff's body, right? I want to, from where I am, Kira, I want to heal Tiff.
So yeah, the first thing, you can see the fighting happen above you, and you can also see and maybe feel and honestly hear like great gouts of something not unlike blood splash onto the ceiling.
Yeah, no, how bad are you right now, Tiff? Are you like unstable at this point?
I'm unstable. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm gonna heal Tiff for. Well, I have to roll for it, but
You do.
Okay, it's good. It's a 12. Advanced move. So, how does that work again with my healing? If it's advanced?
I don't think that counts with advanced moves.
Okay.
I don't think it is. It's not one of those.
Okay,
moves.
that's fine. So then it's 2 to 1, right?
Yep.
I heal her for 2 and I take 1. So I'm gonna heal her all the way up. I'm gonna take 2 and I'll heal her all the way up.
Bro.
Yeah.
Thank you.
So she's got all 4 harm healed.
Fuck yeah.
No. Okay. Keep going, girl. I've got you.
Yes. You're a real one.
Yeah, you guys can all see the brawler, Mr. Green, wipe some greenish black ichor from his mouth.
And then the wounds just disappear from Tiff.
Yeah.
Bitch.
Can I ask the director a question?
Absolutely.
What if humanity doesn't want to be saved? Who says that you can save humanity?
It's a hell of a fucking question, Casey.
Humanity is more than him.
You're gonna fight and fight and fight until you're bloodied. And I'm gonna fight and fight until I'm bloodied and dead. And when the fight's over, maybe just one person is standing, and then what are you fighting for?
Then stop fighting me!
You can't answer the question, can you? You've lost sight of the world.
A soldier becomes a monster to face monsters.
But what if there are no monsters?
What do you mean?
I thought that those who were different than me were monsters. Those with wings, those that can see ghosts. I thought that those were monsters, that they were evil. But then, those monsters saved me again and again and again. They showed me humility, they showed me love, friendship, and they showed me pain, but those wounds healed. And there's always going to be pain. There's always going to be someone fighting, but there's always going to be someone there to love you and to be there for you. There's always a reason. I'm imagining that Casey stands up and, prepares to fight him, again. There's always a reason. And, punches him.
Roll it.
I don't want to.
I think while you were making that speech, Jesse and Nick came up to stand next to you.
Oh, no. Okay.
I think 2 of his spider legs that are fighting back against Ack are gonna crack and be replaced with a from nowhere wolf head that will just come up and start pushing like a dog.
Can Kira help Casey with whatever she's doing to fight against the director? Simultaneously slashing with her axe, or maybe restraining him a bit too, so that she can get a good kick in.
Then you roll help out and Casey roll kick some ass. Mark?
Can Mark have Ack with his other hand
What other hand?
Oh wait, shoot, it's vaporized.
Shall we?
Are his fingers exposed?
Yeah.
Are they? How long is one of the fingers? Is it about as long as him?
Yeah, it's probably a pretty huge finger.
So I'm wondering if one of the fingers can come down and just swipe his stance off, so he falls down, and then the rest of the hand can just on top of him, hold him down, like a sweep kick type deal. Because then he won't have the mobility to fight back.
So I want, in this order, I want Casey to roll kick some ass, and then I want Kira to roll help out, and then I want Mark to roll act under pressure. And tell me the numbers in that order.
I rolled an 8.
Well, Kira rolled a 10, and she is +2 because she's the initiate. She's got helping hand, so you rolled a 10.
And Mark rolled a 9.
Sick. So what happens is you go in to do some more of this fisticuffs. The director rears back to give you a pretty wild left hook, but is grappled by a shadow tendril. So you get in quite a few hits on his chest, and you do a sweep kick, which allows Ack to take advantage of him being off balance and essentially construct a finger cage.
I don't want to do this, director. You have no idea how much I wanted everything to be a lie. But to find out that one of the people I greatly look up to is the biggest evil of all, it's heartbreaking.
There's nothing humane about it.
Don't be naive, child. There are bigger evils than me.
You're just the one in front of me that we can at least handle. Is Casey able to cut his neck?
I was just gonna say, can Mark do something really gruesome?
I want to know what everybody's plan is. I do want to say, just to point out, because it wouldn't be obvious to most people, I think the up top version of Mr. Green is swaying. Tiff, you could go for the tendril if you want.
To do that.
Okay, so Tiff, let's go for the tendril. Mark wants to do something gruesome. Talk to me about that.
So what I was thinking, or what Mark was thinking, is if he took his sword that he has that most people have forgotten about, and could he cut this guy in half while at the same time splitting a rift between here and there? And like have it just like...
And Casey, what did you want to do?
I kind of was trying to do sort of like a mercy kill, like, but I think he's gonna put up a fight. I was kind of pulling a like, I don't hate you, but I'm disappointed. I don't know.
So what's gonna make all this stuff depend is what Tiff does, and then I want to know. You sort of have two options for how to deal with the so below.
I would like to help Tiff somehow by maybe like creating a blanket of shadow between her and Mr. Green so that he can't interfere with what she's trying to do, if that's possible.
I think that makes sense. And I also think that like there's already a bit of you up there, Kira.
What do you mean?
When you healed her with yourself.
Oh, yeah.
So Tiff will act under pressure. Kira will help out.
I'm really scared. Okay, uh-oh. Well, it's not as bad as it could be. I'm rolling act under pressure. It's pretty bad. It's a 7. It's a 7. It's not a failure.
Did she get any bonuses to that? Did she get a 1?
I rolled help out, and you are so lucky because I rolled a 12 advanced move.
Thank you.
So that means it's a 12.
I love it. What a success.
So Tiff, you're going to like dive/flow toward and then around Mr. Green, who will bring both of his fists up above his head to bring them down on you as you flow underneath him. But they will smash instead into a solid wall of shadow, allowing you to slip by unharmed, where you can grasp onto this tendril, squeeze until it cuts off, and pull it apart.
Fuck yeah. How do you like that?
How do you like them apples?
So you now functionally, I think like in the sort of magic, you have them each, the human director and Mr. Green, kind of by the tail.
Fuck yeah. Can I use burn everything?
I would love to use burn everything.
Does that include us? Or is it only when she fails?
It can.
Yeah, I won't fail. I didn't fail. I got an 11.
Is it possible for Casey to say maybe one last thing to the director?
Absolutely.
Okay, I do have a question for you, Johnny.
Mm-hmm.
Do I know any rumors or stories about the director, like before they became the director?
I mean, yeah, there's a rumor that when the first headquarters blew up, he was the only survivor. That's never been confirmed.
Hoping for like good rumors or good stories. Because essentially what, like, I think Casey's gonna like say to him, what about the real good that you had done before?
Oh, I see.
Before the director, before you were an author, a producer, before you were a monster. What about that good? That year's agent?
So, what is going to happen is that the sort of split sky, all of it, both sides of it, are going to erupt into blue-black flames. And the brawler detective-y form of Mr. Green is going to like dissolve into it. And then a lot of dead things are going to kind of spill out from behind the director. Alien things, monstrous things. The grafts are breaking. And he's going to say to you, Casey, what good is saving anyone if you can't save everyone?
You're never going to be able to save everyone. Just gotta save the ones that matter. The ones who can't save themselves. That's what fighting for humanity means. Director.
Roll manipulate someone.
12 advance move.
So I think to retcon this entire evening, it has indeed been raining this whole time. And I think he'll do that thing where he leans his head back and closes his eyes and looks to the sky and lets the rain fall over his face. And then as the watery blood runs down his cheeks and arms, he'll say to you, Casey, I don't think I've been the director for quite some time. I think I've been Mr. Green. And now he kind of looks up as the blue-black flame in the sky sort of fades back away into gray storm clouds and normal human climate. I don't know that I know what it means to be Mr. Green either. I was trying to prepare for a war, Agent Davis. But somewhere along the way, I started another one.
Yeah.
Tiff, I think you kind of flow back down to the roof and take whatever form you choose.
The sexiest Tiff one.
Yeah, I was gonna say, can I be me, but cooler?
Yeah.
I'm taller and hotter with some faint shadow tendrils coming off of me.
Casey struggles to pay attention to what's actually happening here.
Yeah, and I'm going to say everybody's climbing onto the roof. Tommy, Nick's already here, Jesse's here. Leth, even Gad, and some of the nameless Dawnbreak people who are no longer going to have the fucking dress barn fall down around their
What
ears.
about Donovan?
I think notably, he's climbed up the stairs.
Okay.
I think his left wing is hanging off of him kind of like a dislocated shoulder.
As long as we could put the shoulder back into place, essentially, he could or the wing back into place, it would be fine.
What I want to happen is for him to say, oh, Riley can set me right.
Oh.
Well, I'll be okay.
Okay.
I've been through worse.
Kira would kind of lean into his good shoulder and kind of just I don't know, dad.
Yeah, I know.
Dad.
Dad moves.
Yeah.
So the director's going to kind of look out at all of you. When you're in charge, you have an axe over your neck. Everything falls down on you. The only thing that made me different is I saw the size of the axe, and I went and built one of my own. I think what he wants to do is essentially he's not going to be pleady or pathetic, but he will essentially throw himself on the mercy of the court and be I never made a move without knowing what it meant. There's a punishment to be doled out to me. I take responsibility. I did what I thought was best with what I had.
I think Anna speaks up. And what about Abigail? Was that what was best?
For humanity, yes. The fact that she became human eventually, well, that's what made the plan work. There's something I think you need to see. functionally, the mystery is over, but I realize that we are not done exactly. So what I would like to do is, for the most part, end things here, and we'll resolve those loose ends in a kind of epilogue situation. But before I can get working on that, I do need to know a couple of things from you guys. I want to get a sense for Tiff's send-off. So what is Tiff going to be doing over the coming days/weeks? But first, what is your intended fate for E. Garrett Goldman?
Casey's intention and my intention would be to take the director into custody.
Okay.
And I think Casey, or else maybe Casey and Jesse, would probably interrogate him and get the whole spectrum of everything over a course of days or weeks, possibly.
Okay. So Tiff, it's some time later, and you are all of you. You are Tiff Torres, lieutenant in the security division of Extranormal Analysis and Reconnaissance Squad. You are also the Queen Concealed, goddess of shadow and darkness. And you are also trying to mend fences with Leth. Tell me where you want to cut to and what you want to try to do.
Oh, I hadn't thought about that at all.
I know. Just answer it now.
I don't know. I think my big question for her is like, what her I mean, she doesn't work at Ears anymore. She can't work at Ears anymore. I mean, maybe she can if they fix it, but I think she's quit Ears.
A suggestion is that, kind of not knowing what else to do, you spend some time at your apartment and there's a knock at the door.
Okay. I open it.
So, it's Leth.
Hi.
I guess neither of us is exactly human anymore, huh?
Yeah. I mean, you just made it seem so cool that I had to...
Well, and I'm like, is she even gonna like me now that I'm not intimidating?
No, you're still intimidating. Trust me.
Don't you forget it. So what are you gonna do now?
I really don't know. I mean, on one hand, I feel like I should be like, I don't know, doing stuff in the shadow realm, protecting it, but that really doesn't seem like... I mean, that shit could be on autopilot, right? Like, honestly, I kind of want to find something I'm... What?
We forgot about him.
I feel like I should pay attention to the shadow realm for some reason.
Yeah. There's something like, hang on a minute.
It's like an itch I can't scratch. It's weird.
Like when they leave our rag in after certain time.
Oh, God.
Which question, is she technically free then? Because or no?
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
But I think because it pleases me to do so, and we also forgot until this moment, I think Tiff's bedroom door opens up and out walks this cute little 20-something girl with mussed hair who looks like she hasn't slept in a while.
I just turn around and I'm like, oh my God.
And Leth is like, is this a bad time?
I was keeping her safe in...
Tiff.
No.
I'm totally fucking with you.
Oh, okay. I didn't,
It's just... Queen Torres.
You don't have to call me that. I don't know.
It's just... With Mr. Green dealt with, there's kind of nothing on Earth like you.
I don't know. I didn't ask for it. I really never wanted it. I don't want it, I don't think, but it seems like somebody has to carry it, and I don't really trust anybody else to do that. But I kind of just want to be normal. Like, find something I'm good at, like actually good at, that doesn't involve like accidentally injuring all of my friends and alienating people. Kind of like woodworking.
Well, but I think she's going to kind of like start walking around your apartment and sort of like futzing with things. There is the matter that you got a extra dimensional demigod sort of riding around alongside you, and just be nice to, maybe have somebody around who's good at dealing with that kind of thing. To help you, like, stay, and then she shoots you a look. Normal? Who do you know who could keep an eye on you? Keep you out of trouble?
I mean, I think there's only one person. I think there's only ever been one person. Do you want to start a farm?
Manipulate someone. Not for you. Farming simulator. I'm just kidding.
Oh my god! Oh my god! I finally did it! 13! I was gonna burn my lips.
As you should.
It's meant to be.
I'm shaking.
I have been waiting for you to ask me that for 15 years. And she throws her arms around you. A few days have passed since the director has been dealt with. Nothing has been decided about what will happen to EARS itself, but already it's a very different organization. In a secure, windowless conference room, Casey Davis and Kira Ashwood are viewing and reviewing all the data they've recovered from E. Garrett Goldman, stored largely on zip drives, a by now ancient technology that had to be parsed and adapted by some poor IT professional. Now they're trying to make sense of what they're learning and how it squares with what they already knew.
So, we've been interrogating E. Garrett for a while now, Jesse and I, trying to get whatever information we can out of him, and I found something that I thought that you'd be interested in. You're familiar with Operation Tourniquet?
Yeah, I've heard a few things about it.
Well, there's a lot of information in here. I just want to prepare you. I've had a look through it already.
Why? Why would you say that? You haven't.
Because I know I haven't, but I would have assumed that Casey has.
Well, let's go through it together.
So, Casey starts up a very outdated PowerPoint presentation and begins to read through it. Operation Tourniquet follow-up. Addendum G. Opportunities and suggested next steps. The entity designated Abigail. Oscar Hendrickson, EARS Associate Director of R&D. Project overview. The success of Operation Tourniquet cements the organization's future as humanity's preeminent defense. Intel gained from terminated subjects' mom and dad hints at future threats. The immediate fallout of Operation Tourniquet offers an exciting opportunity to respond. What we know. In the operation's immediate aftermath, surviving subject designated Kid used a heretofore unknown reality warping ability to manifest a mass influx of energy to cover her retreat. We have acquired the manifested material's physical remains. Object designated Abigail appears as a young girl, aged approximately 6 to 8. Advanced scans show immense power, rapid brain activity, potential working to suppress, and what the team is calling accelerated humanization. Subject is conscious and responds to stimuli, but behavior is erratic, and contact has been next to impossible to accomplish.
Oh my god.
Johnny.
I told you I'm not sorry.
For the listeners, there's a picture of young Lauren who plays Kira Ashwood, and it says object designated Abigail. What we don't know. What is the source of Kid's new capability? What are its limits? Object Abigail's characteristics are rapidly becoming more human. What was it before? Why is it adapting this way? Can Object Abigail's power be maintained and controlled? Plan 1. Battery. Rejected due to technological limits. Plan 2. Trade. Rejected due to preliminary trials ending catastrophically. Plan 3. Agent M. Shows the most promise, despite long-term timetable. Agent M. Objective. Utilize advancing humanization of Abigail's brain patterns to induce dissociation and ultimately manifest and recruit a malleable alter. Distress leads to divergence. Abigail leads to creating little, animal, protector, prosecutor, to Agent M. Distress leads to divergence, to then recruitment, to Agent M. Looking ahead. Responsibility for Agent M's recovery and housing will fall to new committee designated Drum. Known risks and issues. If Abigail, the host's body, is killed, fallout is unknown. If Abigail's power manifests prematurely, control will be impossible. If Drum Committee loses focus, Agent M's loyalties will become unpredictable. What are the immediate next steps? Hendrickson to make contact with Altman family and begin memory prep. The timeline. Placement, Mike Altman et al. Project conditions are ideal. Integration, Oscar Hendrickson, within the month. Distress to divergence, Mike Altman et al. 2 to 10 years. Recruitment, Drum, full maturation expected, 2024.
And that's the end.
How much of this does Kira remember?
Exceedingly little. Then you have an Epsilon. There's someone else who remembers it all. There's another altar that remembers it all.
I haven't made contact with them before.
Maybe. I mean, there's one that you have made contact with that probably remembers quite a bit indeed.
I think after Casey shares that with you, I think that she's gonna tell you, listen, I want to say I'm sorry, but I know that those are kind of empty words. Nothing can fill the hurt that I think that you're feeling. If you want, I can try and find whatever I can on this.
You know what's weird is that I don't even remember any of this. Part of me wants to say it doesn't matter. But another part of me says I want to find this fucking Hendrickson.
I can add it to my to-do list.
2024? I think that's maybe what Ember was talking about.
Yeah, no, that makes sense. I haven't talked with Mom or Dad yet, but if you want to talk to them, go ahead, just let me know anything you find out.
Yeah. I need to talk to Dad.
Executive producer Jonny Grubb. This has been The Monsters Playbook, featuring
Sarah Baker as Tiff Torres.
John Wander as Mark Clayton.
Lauren Johnson as Anna and Kira Ashwood.
Miah Detjen as Casey Davis and Theo Nessos.
and Jonny Grubb as literally everybody else. Our theme song is by me, Jonny Grubb. The Monsters Playbook is produced and engineered by Miah Detjen and edited by Miah Detjen and Lauren Johnson. If you liked this episode, please tell a friend. We love friends. You can find us on Facebook and Instagram at Monsters Playbook, and on Twitter at Monster Playbook, and on Web 1.0 at monstersplaybook.com. And come hang out with us on Discord. We're fun. We'll see you next episode where, as always, I'll have some good news and some bad news. Thanks for listening.
Emily's 20-something?
She's young, yeah.
Oh, I've been imagining her in her, like, 30s. Like, equivalent to kind of the author. Because they're both bitches.
You could be young and a bitch.